Welcome to AudioCert, where the official study guides are brought to life. I'm your host, and today we're embarking on another deep dive. We're getting into some really foundational knowledge for, well, anyone navigating the complex world of projects. Our focus today is on critical material for the Project Management Professional Certification, the PMP.
That's right. The PMP certification, coming from the Project Management Institute, or PMI, it's really more than just a badge on your profile. It's a globally recognized benchmark. It validates a project manager's skills, absolutely, but also their deep understanding of best practices.
So it kind of levels the playing field, in a way.
Exactly. What's truly powerful about it is how it establishes a common language, a shared understanding across really diverse industries. And this doesn't just boost careers for individuals, which it certainly does, but maybe more importantly for organizations, it demonstrably improves overall project success rates.
Right. Better success rates.
It's about building a robust, consistent, and effective approach to how work actually gets done. Consistently delivering value, that's the goal.
Absolutely. And within that whole robust framework, we're zeroing in today on a component that maybe sounds a bit administrative at first listen, but it's actually incredibly vital and strategic.
I think I know where you're going with this.
We're diving into Appendix X3. It's all about the Project Management Office, often just called a PMO. Okay, let's unpack this. A Project Management Office. When I first hear that phrase, I kind of picture maybe a central room, where all the project paperwork lives, files and charts everywhere.
That's a common first thought, the admin hub.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it's far more strategic than that, almost like the nerve center for an organization's project success. What exactly is a PMO, and why is it such a linchpin, such a crucial piece for anyone managing projects?
You're touching on a really crucial distinction right there. The perception versus the reality of its strategic value. According to the PMBOK guide, that's the project management body of knowledge, a PMO is fundamentally a management structure.
A structure, okay.
Its core purpose, its fundamental reason for being, is really twofold. First, it's there to standardize project-related governance processes.
Standardized governance. Right.
And second, its job is to facilitate the sharing of essential resources, tools, methodologies, and techniques across the whole organization.
Okay, standardize and facilitate.
Think of it less like that filing cabinet you mentioned, and more like, as you put it, the central nervous system for all project-related activities. It's constantly monitoring, guiding, and, importantly, enabling.
So standardizes implies everyone's on the same page, playing by a consistent rule book, maybe.
Exactly. Consistency is key.
And facilitates sounds like it's actively equipping them, giving them what they need to perform well. So it's not just a regulator, but also an enabler. Is that fair?
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. Standardization ensures that consistency, which is vital for, quality control, for predictable outcomes.
Right.
It reduces redundant efforts and significantly improves efficiency right across the board.
Less reinventing the wheel on every project.
Exactly. And facilitation, that means proactively empowering project teams with exactly what they need to succeed. Whether that's templates or maybe training or access to specialized software, you name it. It's really about creating an environment where best practices aren't just, theoretical ideas in a book, but are actively applied, ingrained in how things are done.
Okay, that makes sense. Build the capability.
However, and this is a really critical caveat here, the character and the specific functions of a PMO are far from rigid. They're not set in stone. They can vary significantly between different organizations. And remarkably, even within the same organization over time, they adapt as the business evolves.
Okay, so it's not a cookie-cutter thing.
Definitely not. It's definitely not a rigid, one-size-fits-all model you just plug in and expect to work everywhere. Its design is always contextual. It's built to fit the unique ecosystem, the culture, the needs of its specific organization.
That's where it gets really interesting, isn't it? So it's a flexible framework designed to support project work, sure, but it can have a lot of different potential shapes and sizes. That immediately makes me think that understanding the type of PMO an organization has, or maybe even more importantly what it needs, is absolutely key. Key to interacting with it effectively, key to getting the most out of it.
Absolutely.
It's not just if you have one, but what kind you have. That seems critical.
Exactly. Recognizing that inherent variability, that flexibility, is really the first step. The first step to truly appreciating its immense value proposition and understanding how it integrates into the broader system for value delivery within an organization. It's an adaptive entity, constantly evolving. Its form really follows its function within that unique organizational context. This adaptability is absolutely key to its relevance and its success.
So let's start with the most fundamental question then. In a world where, let's be honest, every budget line item gets scrutinized, why would an organization even bother creating, investing in, maintaining a project management office? What's the core problem it solves? Or, maybe putting it more positively, what's the primary benefit it brings that justifies that investment?
Right, the justification. At its most fundamental level, a PMO exists to deliver improved project management. Full stop. But let's be clear, this isn't some, vague aspiration. This improvement is tangible. It's measurable.
I have so.
We're talking about better project schedules, projects finishing on time, maybe even ahead, more controlled costs staying within or under budget.
Always good.
Enhanced quality of deliverables, meaning the end product, whatever it is, meets or exceeds expectations. More effective risk management, anticipating, mitigating potential issues before they become full-blown crises, and overall, just superior performance across all facets of a project.
So it pays for itself, essentially, through better results.
You could think of a PMO not just as an overhead cost, but maybe as your organization's project success insurance policy. That's a term I like.
Ooh, I like that. Project success insurance.
Yeah. It's that sort of silent force that transforms what could be chaotic sprints into more predictable victories, often by catching subtle misalignments or potential issues before they snowball into really costly failures.
That insurance analogy is good. It makes me think, is it also maybe like having a dedicated coaching staff for all the teams in a professional sports league?
How do you mean?
Well, the coaches aren't out there playing the game themselves, right?
Yeah.
But they're providing the overarching strategy, the specialized training, developing the playbooks, performing post-game analysis, all to ensure every team member and every team performs optimally, following best practices, rather than just letting individual teams kind of figure it all out on their own.
That's a perfect analogy, actually. Really spot on. The coaching staff isn't playing, but they provide the strategy, the training, the playbook, the analysis to lift everyone's game. A PMO does much the same for projects within an organization.
Okay.
But its roles extend beyond just, let's say, operational efficiency. They reach right into the strategic heart of the organization. PMOs have many potential roles, and a big one is aligning work with strategic goals.
Ah, the strategy links.
Yes. This means ensuring that every single project undertaken isn't just a standalone effort floating out there on its own, but that it directly contributes to the organization's overarching long-term objectives. It's about moving the needle for the entire business, not just completing a task, but completing the right tasks.
So it prevents what you sometimes hear called random acts of project management. Just busy work that doesn't really connect to the big picture.
Precisely. That's a great phrase for it. Preventing those random acts that don't actually contribute to the company's grand vision or strategic direction.
So it's not just about getting tasks done efficiently, which is important, but making sure those tasks actually, move the needle for the business, deliver real results. That's a much broader, much more profound mandate than I initially pictured, connecting the tactical day-to-day with the long-term strategic vision.
Exactly. And beyond just strategic alignment, PMOs are also crucial for engaging and collaborating with stakeholders.
Right, stakeholders. Always key.
Projects, by their very nature, involve a multitude of interested parties, don't they? Internal teams, external vendors, customers, senior leadership, sometimes even regulatory bodies, a whole crowd. A PMO helps facilitate clear, consistent communication across this diverse group. It helps manage expectations, which is huge, and fosters cooperation among them.
Reducing friction.
Absolutely. This dramatically reduces friction, minimizes misunderstandings, and ensures everyone is working towards a common, agreed-upon understanding and objective, which in turn helps the project navigate tricky political landscapes sometimes and garner the necessary support to succeed.
So they're not just managing the tasks, the work breakdown structures, but also managing the relationships and the flow of information around those tasks. That's a big job.
It is. And they also play a significant role in developing talent.
Talent. How so?
This isn't just about, say, hiring experienced project managers, although that might be part of it. It's about nurturing core project management skills and building capabilities within the organization as a whole. Think structured training programs, ongoing mentorship, maybe clear career pathing for project professionals. A strong PMO can build a really resilient, skilled workforce capable of tackling increasingly complex and critical projects, ensuring a sustainable pipeline of project leadership for the future.
Okay, so they're not just managing projects, but also managing the people who manage projects, helping them grow and perform better, investing in human capital.
Absolutely. And finally, and perhaps most critically, especially in today's highly competitive business environment, PMOs are instrumental in realizing value from
The
investments.
payoff, the ROI.
Exactly. Organizations pour significant resources, time, money, personnel into projects. A PMO helps ensure that these investments actually yield tangible, measurable benefits, and that the project outcomes are fully aligned with the initial business case and the expected return on investment, the ROI.
Making sure the juice was worth the squeeze.
Precisely. This ties directly into that idea of a system for value delivery that's mentioned in the standard for project management. PMOs play an integral part in that system by connecting the project outputs, the deliverables, to genuine business outcomes and value. So look, while a successful project is important, of course, a successful project that delivers measurable strategic value to the organization. That's the ultimate goal. And that's where the PMO really shines as a true strategic asset.
Wow. Okay, that's a much bigger picture. But given this depth, and you said earlier that PMOs are so varied, how do we distinguish between their different forms? This raises an important question, especially for anyone looking to understand or maybe even fetch them at one.
That's a perfect bridge to our next point, yes. Earlier, I did emphasize that PMOs are not monolithic. Their character, their function, it varies widely.
So what are these different flavors of PMOs? How do they adapt to an organization's specific needs? And how does a company decide which flavor is right for them? Seems like a big decision.
Excellent questions. And yes, it is a big decision. The adaptability of PMOs is one of their defining characteristics, and understanding these variations is crucial. Let's explore some of the common types. But keep in mind, these aren't always, mutually exclusive categories. It's actually quite common for them to coexist, maybe in layers, within a large, complex organization.
Okay, so they can stack up.
They can. So first, we often see the guidance-providing PMO. As the name clearly suggests, its primary role is to support consistency in how projects are delivered. Think of it like the organizational librarian, or maybe the archivist, and definitely the coach for project management best practices.
Ah, okay. So this sounds like maybe the starter kit PMO, or the foundational one, especially for organizations just beginning to formalize their project management capabilities. If you're just getting your feet wet in structured PM, this seems like the logical first step.
Precisely. That's a great way to think about it, the starter kit. It's all about establishing that baseline of excellence, that fundamental level of maturity. The activities of a guidance-providing PMO often include developing and distributing clear guidelines, creating standardized templates for project documentation, things like charters, plans, status reports, and curating examples of good practices. Lessons learned, perhaps.
When building blocks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And crucially, they also often provide hands-on training and coaching to project teams and individual project managers. Mentoring. The impact of this type of PMO is significant. These standardized approaches and tools, they promote a common business picture, a common language across all projects, ensuring everyone's kind of singing from the same hymn sheet, using consistent methods.
Reduces confusion.
Big time. And this, in turn, greatly facilitates decisions that might transcend individual project concerns. It allows for a more holistic view of the portfolio. And yes, you're absolutely right. This type of PMO often exists in organizations that are just starting to improve their project management capabilities. Building that foundational muscle and spreading a common understanding, it really is the building block.
Okay, makes sense. What comes next?
Well, moving on, we encounter the shared services PMO. This type provides more direct support, but for specific, often operational project delivery activities. It acts like a centralized resource pool for certain functions.
Okay, so if different departments, say marketing and IT, both need help with maybe risk analysis or scheduling, but they want to keep overall control of their projects, they might tap into a shared services PMO for just those specific tasks. It sounds almost like a centralized IT help desk model, but for specific project management tasks. Not a full service management arm, but specialized support.
That's a very apt analogy, yes. The IT help desk model, but for PM tasks. A shared services PMO acts as a centralized expert pool that various departments can draw upon as needed. Their activities typically include essential functions like performance tracking, maybe generating comprehensive reports on project progress across different departments, managing shared resources across multiple projects, think specialized software licenses, or maybe even specific expert personnel and other similar supportive services.
Resource management seems key there.
It often is. The context for this model is frequently found in organizations with pretty independent or diverse business units. These units, they desire that specialized delivery support to streamline their operations, gain efficiency, maybe leverage expertise they don't have internally, but they also want to maintain more direct control over their individual projects and their own strategic direction.
So it's a way to get efficiency and expertise for specific functions without giving up total autonomy over the project's overall management, like an a la carte menu for project support.
Exactly. A la carte is a perfect description. You pick the services you need. Next, we have the Department or Business Unit PMO. This signifies a more focused, centralized management approach, but within a specific part of the organization.
Okay, so this isn't serving the entire organization, but rather a specific vertical, a functional area. Like the IT department might have its own PMO, separate from, say, the new product development division's PMO.
Exactly that. This PMO oversees a dedicated portfolio of projects within a specific department or business unit. Its oversight can be quite extensive. It might, for example, require a detailed business case just to initiate a project within that unit. It might meticulously oversee the project scope or specific activities, and perform similar functions aimed at centralized management for that particular unit.
So more control, but focused control.
Yes. This structure is commonly found in organizations where specific departments have numerous projects that deliver strategically important results for that department. Think IT capabilities development, like you said, or maybe new product development initiatives within a specific R&D division. What's fascinating here is how it takes a really focused, deep dive approach, managing a collection of projects that are often deeply interconnected and absolutely critical to a specific part of the business, ensuring their alignment with that department's goals while perhaps still reporting upwards to a larger strategic body.
Okay, so we've got guidance, shared services, departmental focus. What's at the top?
Well then, at the highest level of strategic oversight, often the most comprehensive type, we find the enterprise-level PMO, usually called the EPMO.
Okay, so this is the big kahuna PMO you hear about sometimes, overlooking everything, like the central nervous system for all the strategic initiatives, making sure every limb in the organizational body is moving in a coherent, synchronized direction.
That's an excellent metaphor. The central nervous system perfectly captures its all-encompassing strategic role. An EPMO explicitly links the implementation of the overall organizational strategy with portfolio-level investments in programs and projects across the entire enterprise.
The whole company.
The whole company. Its scope is organization-wide, and it often reports directly to top leadership, like the C-suite. This type of PMO is typically found in organizations with highly mature, well-established project management capabilities, where project and program outcomes are seen as being directly linked to achieving the overarching organizational strategy and broad business objectives.
So high maturity is usually a prerequisite.
Generally, yes. It's about ensuring that every project, every program, every portfolio decision aligns directly with the company's grand vision, its strategic plan, rather than just individual department goals. It's the ultimate orchestrator of strategic value delivery, making sure, as you might say, the entire orchestra is playing the same symphony and playing it well.
Got it. The strategic conductor.
Exactly. Now, things get even more interesting with the rise and widespread adoption of Agile methodologies in recent years. We've seen the emergence of specialized PMO variants, things like the Agile Center of Excellence, often called an ACE, that's ACOE, or sometimes a Value Delivery Office, a VDO.
Interesting. APU or VDO. So
Yeah.
for organizations that are really embracing agility, rapid iteration, maybe DevOps, and an APUE or VDO acts more like a specialized training ground, a support system for their Agile teams, rather than a strict oversight or control body. It sounds less about top-down command and more about bottom-up empowerment, enabling the teams.
You've absolutely hit the nail on the head there. Empowerment and enablement are key concepts. An ATU or VDO is specifically designed to support Agile delivery approaches. Its role is indeed less about direct command and control and far more about enablement, cultivation, fostering a culture of agility.
What do they actually do then?
Their activities focus heavily on coaching teams in Agile practices, Scrum, Kanban, XP, whatever they're using, building agile skills and capabilities throughout the organization, and mentoring key roles like sponsors, the project champions, and product owners, the voice of the customer, to be more effective within that agile environment. They champion agile principles and practices, things like iterative development, customer collaboration, responding to change, rather than enforcing rigid, traditional, maybe waterfall-style processes.
So they promote agility. They don't just manage agile projects.
Exactly. This model is particularly common in organizations with maybe more decentralized structures, where teams need to respond really quickly and flexibly to changing customer needs and dynamic market demands. It's all about fostering that culture of rapid, iterative value delivery, focusing on flow, on continuous improvement.
That makes a lot of sense in today's world. Now, you mentioned earlier these types aren't always mutually exclusive. It sounds like a large, complex organization might even have a layered combination, like maybe an EPMO overseeing everything at the strategic level, but then individual departments also having their own department PMOs for their specific needs, or maybe even ACOEs or VDOs nested within departments for their agile initiatives. Does that happen? Allowing for both broad strategic alignment and specialized operational support.
You're absolutely right. That's a very perceptive observation. And yes, it happens frequently. PMOs can indeed be layered, forming a kind of hierarchy. For instance, a comprehensive EPMO might well have several subordinate PMOs and maybe VDOs operating beneath it, each tailored to specific departments or business units or even different types of projects, say one for infrastructure, one for software development.
Tailored support.
Exactly. This layering allows for both that centralized strategic oversight from the EPMO and also localized context-specific operational support from the lower-level PMOs or VDOs. The factors that help shape a specific PMO or VDO are quite dynamic. They include things like the specific types of projects being delivered. Are they highly complex, innovative, routine, regulatory heavy? That matters. The overall size and maybe the geographic distribution of the organization plays a role. And crucially, the prevailing organizational culture.
Culture. That's always a big one.
Huge. A culture that values, say, strict governance and compliance will likely shape a more controlling PMO structure, whereas a culture that champions autonomy, experimentation, rapid iteration might lean more towards an ATE or VDO model, focusing on enablement rather than strict control.
So it really sounds like PMOs are living, breathing entities. They truly grow and change with the company. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing you implement once and, never touch again. They seem to evolve almost organically.
Precisely. You've got it. And this adaptability, this evolution, is absolutely critical for their long-term success and their ongoing efficacy. As organizational needs inevitably change over time, maybe due to market shifts or new technology or strategic pivots or even global events like we've seen, PMOs and VDOs must also evolve in response. Their structure, their functions, even their primary focus might need to adapt to remain relevant and continue providing maximum value to the organization. This continuous evolution is what makes a PMO a sustainable strategic asset, not just some static department on an org chart.
Okay, we've really explored what a PMO is, why an organization needs one, and its various forms or flavors. But let's get into the nitty-gritty now. On a day-to-day basis, or maybe a strategic basis, what do PMOs actually do? What are their core capabilities that truly make them indispensable, that justify their existence?
Excellent question. Because understanding their capabilities, what they actually deliver day in and day out, truly brings their value proposition to life. As the standard for project management points out, projects don't exist in a vacuum. They are part of a larger system for value delivery within organizations. PMOs don't just exist alongside this system, they actively support it. They're an integral part of it. Just as individual project managers contribute, PMOs make unique and powerful contributions that support this overarching goal of value delivery.
So what are some of those unique contributions?
Well, one of their primary capabilities is fostering deliverer and outcomes-oriented capabilities.
Okay, what does that mean exactly? Fostering capabilities.
It means PMOs actively work to ensure that everyone involved in projects, so employees, maybe contractors, external partners, people both inside and outside the PMO itself, that they understand, develop, apply, and ultimately value a broad range of project management skills and competencies. It's about building a robust, skilled, and engaged workforce capable of executing projects at a high level consistently.
Building the bench strength, so to speak.
Exactly. Their focus here is also crucially on right-sizing processes and governance. This is really important. It isn't about applying some rigid, one-size-fits-all bureaucratic process to every single project. That would be a recipe for disaster, frankly.
Yeah, it sounds painful.
It would be. Instead, it's about expertly tailoring processes and the level of oversight based on the unique characteristics of each project. Things like its complexity, its risk level, its strategic importance, maybe the chosen delivery method, agile, waterfall, hybrid. The goal is to consistently produce high-quality, sustainable outcomes by matching the process to the project.
So they need to be adaptable themselves.
Absolutely. A high-performing PMO understands that one size fits all is, well, usually one size fits none, effectively. Its true genius often lies in its ability to be a kind of governance chameleon, adapting the level and type of governance and process to fit the unique DNA of each project, ensuring agility where it's needed and rigor where it's critical, like in regulated environments.
So they're like the skill builders and the process streamliners, making sure everyone has the right tools, knows how to use them effectively for each specific project, and ensuring the processes fit the project, not the other way around. Like being both the architect of the process and the coach for the people using it.
That's a perfect encapsulation, yes. They are indeed both the architect and the coach. Another absolutely critical capability is keeping the big picture perspective. This is where they really differentiate themselves from individual project managers.
How so?
Well, project managers are often, and quite rightly, deeply immersed in the intricate details of their specific project. They have to be. A PMO acts as the organizational safeguard. It's instrumental in preventing common pitfalls like scope creep.
The dreaded scope creep.
Indeed. That insidious tendency for a project's requirements to gradually expand beyond its initial agreed-upon boundaries, often without proper planning, approval, or resources. PMOs also help protect against the introduction of new priorities midstream that aren't truly aligned to the strategic or business objectives. They act as a guardian of the project's original intent and its overall value proposition, keeping that North Star in sight for everyone.
Okay, so if we connect this back to the bigger picture, the PMO acts almost like the organization's GPS system, helping everyone see the ultimate destination, the strategic goal, and maybe helping course correct when individual projects start to veer off path, rather than just letting them drive down whatever road looks interesting at the moment, that consistent guiding hand.
Precisely. GPS is a great analogy. They evaluate ongoing work not in isolation, but critically in the context of other projects, programs, and portfolios across the organization. This allows them to identify potential overlaps, maybe conflicts for resources, resource contention issues, or even find valuable synergies between projects that individual teams might miss.
Seeing the forest, not just the trees.
Exactly. Ultimately, they provide project teams, senior management, business leaders with crucial, accurate information and objective guidance. This helps them deeply understand the current circumstances, assess potential outcomes, weigh the available options realistically, and this empowers robust, informed decision-making across all levels, ensuring strategic coherence. They often become the single source of truth for project health, progress, and alignment.
That sounds invaluable for leadership.
It is. And finally, another key capability area. PMOs are deeply involved in continuous improvement, knowledge transfer, and change management. Strong PMOs don't just, complete projects and move on. They learn from them systematically. They regularly share project results, crucial lessons learned, both successes and failures, and best practices across the organization. The aim is to transfer valuable knowledge gained from each endeavor.
So others don't repeat mistakes.
Exactly. This means documenting what worked exceptionally well, what didn't, and crucially, why. And then making that information easily accessible and actionable for future projects and teams. These learning and sharing activities, they don't just stay within the project management community either. They actively inform and refine broader strategic and business objectives. And they also directly strengthen future project delivery capabilities. They ensure that the organization learns from every single endeavor, preventing the repetition of past mistakes and intelligently leveraging past successes, building organizational wisdom.
This sounds like the PMO is also the organizational memory and the learning center for projects, ensuring those hard-won lessons learned aren't just filed away and forgotten, but are systematically captured and applied for better future projects. It's not just about managing projects, but managing the knowledge gained from projects, turning experience into reusable wisdom.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic way to put it. Managing the knowledge, turning experience into wisdom. They're catalysts for evolving the organization's overall project management maturity. They actively drive updates to standards, capability enhancements, new skills development that support project management across the entire organization. So in essence, PMOs are really multifaceted powerhouses. They elevate project performance from mere tactical execution up to strategic value delivery. And they foster a pervasive culture of excellence and continuous learning within the organization.
Okay, we've covered the what, the why, the different shapes a PMO can take, and what they actually do. But you mentioned earlier that PMOs aren't static. They evolve. So how are PMOs adapting? How are they changing to meet the demands of today's increasingly complex, frankly volatile business landscape? How do they ensure they're delivering maximum value and stronger benefits realization in this environment?
That's a truly vital point because the environment businesses operate in today is, well, it's exponentially more complex than it was even a decade ago. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, absolutely. Constant change seems to be the only constant.
Exactly. We're grappling with greater uncertainty and accelerated pace of technological and market change, increased global competition, often from unexpected places, and far more empowered customers. Customers who demand personalized experiences and rapid innovation like yesterday. This dynamic landscape, it demands that organizations have the innate ability to rapidly implement new strategic initiatives and adapt quickly, almost in real time sometimes. And PMOs are truly at the forefront of enabling this crucial organizational agility and responsiveness. They have to be.
So how are they doing that? What's changing in their approach?
Well, one significant shift we're seeing is focusing more intensely on critical initiatives. While, sure, all projects are important to someone, certain strategic initiatives often carry disproportionate weight in determining an organization's future trajectory, its core capabilities, its survival sometimes. So PMOs are evolving from being maybe perceived as mere project watchdogs, as monitoring progress, ensuring compliance with a checklist, to actively orchestrating conversations.
Orchestrating conversations. What does that look like?
It means bringing together the key players, senior leaders, business unit heads, product owners, project teams, facilitating dialogues between them.
Okay. Here's where it gets really interesting, I think. They're becoming more like strategic facilitators,
Yeah.
advisors, rather than just auditors or process police, almost like an internal strategic consultant, helping connect the various, sometimes disparate parts of the organization for better collective outcomes.
Exactly. Strategic facilitators, internal consultants, those are good descriptions. These orchestrated conversations are far from just simple status updates. They are often deep dives. They provide accurate, real-time insights into project performance. They illuminate potential threats looming on the horizon. They spotlight emerging opportunities that maybe weren't planned for, and they highlight significant risks. The goal is to achieve absolute clarity quickly and enable swift, intelligent course correction around emerging issues or changing priorities, ultimately leading to the fullest possible realization of the intended business outcomes and value.
So being proactive, not reactive.
Absolutely. This proactive, facilitative engagement ensures projects remain dynamically aligned with what might be fluid strategic needs, rather than being rigidly stuck to potentially outdated plans. Another crucial evolution is instituting smart and simple processes.
Simple. I thought PMOs sometimes meant more process.
Well, in the past, some PMOs unfortunately did earn a reputation, sometimes deservedly, for being bureaucratic, adding layers of red tape, slowing things down. The modern, evolving PMO is fundamentally different, or at least it strives to be. They are actively right-sizing their organization's processes.
Right-sizing, like we talked about before.
Exactly. Optimizing communication, fostering deep collaboration, embedding continuous improvement right into the very DNA of project delivery. The emphasis is squarely on avoiding wasteful steps, avoiding bureaucracy for bureaucracy's sake, and not overriding processes or team practices that are already demonstrably producing value, like maybe in a high-performing Agile team. It's about elegant optimization, not cumbersome over-engineering.
Okay, but this raises an important question, doesn't it? How do you achieve that simplification without sacrificing necessary governance, especially in regulated industries or where risk mitigation is paramount? It seems like an incredibly delicate balance to strike. Efficiency versus control.
It absolutely is a delicate balance, and striking it well is really a mark of a mature, effective PMO. It requires a deep understanding of the organization's risk tolerance, its specific regulatory requirements, the unique needs of different project types like we discussed. The best PMOs are agile themselves, constantly adapting their governance approach to the context. They often aim for what you might call the minimum viable governance. Just enough process and oversight required to ensure transparency, accountability, and successful compliant outcomes, rather than simply imposing the maximum amount possible.
Minimum viable governance, I like that.
Yeah, it's about value-adding governance, not just governance for its own sake. Is this step adding value, or is it just ceremony? Furthermore, PMOs are now fostering talent and capabilities much more proactively and strategically than perhaps they used to.
We touched on talent development earlier. How is this evolving?
It's moving beyond just providing generic training courses. It's about playing a more hands-on, vital role in actually recruiting and, importantly, retaining talented team members across the organization who are involved in projects. They're also heavily invested in developing and nurturing a wider array of skills within project teams and even across the organization. Not just the technical PM skills like scheduling or budgeting, but also critical strategic business acumen, general management capabilities, and crucial leadership skills, communication, influence, negotiation that transcend individual projects and are valuable everywhere. They are becoming true talent incubators and competency centers for the organization.
So the PMO is also becoming a key talent incubator and developer, building the human capital necessary for successful projects, not just managing the projects themselves. That's a profound shift, really, acknowledging that people are truly the ultimate asset in getting things done.
It truly is. It acknowledges that people, skilled people, are the most critical asset in value delivery, and that a PMO can play a central role in fostering a culture where that talent thrives and wants to stay. And finally, linked to that, PMOs are increasingly encouraging and enabling a culture of change.
Leading change.
Yes. In our rapidly evolving world, organizations must not just tolerate change, they have to actively embrace it as an opportunity. PMOs are stepping up to become change leaders themselves, actively building organization-wide support for and commitment to the desired outcomes and the value being pursued. They help the organization understand why change is necessary, what it looks like, and how to adapt effectively. Managing the people side of change.
Wow. Okay, what's fascinating here is that shift from just managing projects, which are often agents of change themselves, to actively shaping the organizational culture itself, helping the organization embrace change and value delivery rather than just passively resisting it, which often happens. They're becoming agents of transformation, not just administrators of tasks.
Exactly. Agents of transformation is a great way to put it. They are helping to embed the mindset that projects are not merely about completing tasks or delivering outputs on time and budget, though that's important, but they are fundamentally about driving strategic outcomes, delivering measurable value, and continuously adapting to achieve even greater benefits. This holistic approach encompassing strategic orchestration, talent development, process simplification, and proactive cultural shaping. This is what makes the evolving PMO an indispensable partner. A partner in navigating today's complex business environment and ensuring stronger benefits realization that truly moves the organization forward.
So what does this all mean for us, for our listeners? We've really taken a comprehensive deep dive into the project management office today, explored its many facets, and really understood that it's anything but a static, simple concept.
Indeed, it's been quite a journey. To quickly recap, we started by defining a PMO as that crucial management structure. It standardizes project-related governance processes, yes, but it also facilitates resource sharing to ultimately improve project outcomes. It's that central hub for project excellence, maybe even your organization's project success insurance policy.
Right, and we learned that PMOs are definitely not one-size-fits-all. We explored the distinct forms, the different flavors a PMO can take, from the foundational guidance providing PMO, which establishes consistency,
to the efficiency-driven shared services PMO, centralizing specific support.
then the focused department or business unit PMO,
The all-encompassing strategic enterprise-level PMO.
EPMO, and finally the Agile-focused Agile Center of Excellence, ACOE, or Value Delivery Office, VDO. Each type really highlights their remarkable adaptability to an organization's specific needs, its maturity level, and how they can even be layered together.
We then delved into the PMO's indispensable capabilities. We emphasized its roles in fostering robust delivery and outcomes-oriented capabilities by building skills and right-sizing processes, acting as that governance chameleon.
And maintaining that vital big-picture perspective, serving as the organization's GPS to prevent scope creep, ensure alignment with strategic goals,
And ultimately driving continuous improvement, knowledge transfer, and proactive change management across the whole organization. They really are the learning engine for project success.
And finally, we looked at how PMOs are actively evolving in today's complex world, shifting from mere oversight to more strategic orchestration, focusing on critical initiatives, implementing smart and simple processes, proactively fostering talent development, and even leading organizational culture change.
Exactly. All of this is geared towards a stronger, more predictable realization of business benefits and value, especially in such an uncertain environment. Understanding these profound nuances, this depth and breadth, really helps you, the listener, truly recognize the PMO's immense potential impact. in any organization you encounter. It helps you see how you can effectively leverage its functions for your own project success. Whether you're working within a PMO, maybe tasked with starting one up, or simply interacting with one as a project manager or a stakeholder, the PMO is a dynamic entity, a powerful and evolving ally in the pursuit of strategic value delivery.
That brings us to the end of another truly fascinating deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us today as we unravel the intricacies and the clear strategic importance of the Project Management Office.
It's been a genuine pleasure exploring this crucial topic. I'd encourage all our listeners, maybe take a moment after this and consider which type of PMO might best suit your own organizational context, or maybe your current project needs. Reflect on what you heard today.
The journey of learning about project management, it's definitely continuous, isn't it? And the PMO, in its various adaptive forms, is a powerful ally that can significantly enhance your project endeavors and your career. And for those who want to learn even more about PMOs, really delve deeper into their foundational principles, their applications, I highly recommend exploring the suggested resources from the Project Management Institute.
Good idea. Which one specifically?
Well, specifically, look into the standard for portfolio management, also the standard for program management. The Agile Practice Guide is very relevant now, and perhaps even the standard for business analysis. These resources provide additional valuable information that really builds upon what we've discussed today. They offer further avenues for mastery in this whole area.
Excellent advice, great resources to check out. So armed with this deeper understanding of the PMO, you're now better equipped to not just navigate, but hopefully truly excel in the dynamic world of project management. Keep applying this knowledge, keep asking those critical questions, and remember that understanding the why behind these structures really empowers you. We look forward to exploring the next crucial topic in project management with you right here on The Deep Dive.